The name Iron Mike was once synonymous with fear, a sound that made spectators hold their breath and fighters hesitate before the first bell. Mike Tyson was never just a boxer. He was a force of nature, a human storm that turned every arena into a battlefield. His punches carried not only power, but an aura of inevitability that left opponents reeling before the fight even began. Yet behind the spectacle, the flashbulbs, and the roaring crowds, there was a boy shaped by absence and hardship. Now at 59, Tyson's battles are no longer fought with fists, but with memory, regret, and reflection. The fight for survival has become a fight for self-reinvention. In the quiet spaces, once filled with applause, he faces the ultimate challenge, understanding who he is beyond the legend and finding meaning in a life that has seen both glory and ruin. Brooklyn beginnings, a childhood marked by hardship. Mike Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, into a world stacked against him. His biological father vanished early, leaving a void that shaped his identity from the start. His mother, Lorna, struggled to raise him and his siblings amid grinding poverty. Temporary father figures came and went, leaving young Mike without consistent guidance. They eventually settled in Brownsville, a neighborhood notorious in the 1970s for crime and instability. Daily life was defined by hunger, danger, and the constant threat of violence. Tyson's awkwardness, oversized glasses, a lisp made him an easy target, deepening his sense of isolation. In such an environment, survival was instinctive. The boy learned to brace for conflict before it even arrived. From the very beginning, Tyson's world offered no soft landings, only harsh lessons, preparing him for a life where aggression became both armor and identity. Pigeons and the first hardening of a heart. Amid the chaos of his Brooklyn neighborhood, Tyson found solace in an unlikely refuge. Rooftops filled with pigeons. These delicate creatures offered him comfort, trust, and companionship in a life otherwise defined by neglect. He nurtured them, spoke to them, and entrusted them with secrets he wouldn't share with anyone else. But that fragile peace was shattered when a neighborhood boy killed his favorite pigeon. The loss hit Tyson like a physical blow, forging a determination never to feel powerless again. From that day, grief became fuel for aggression rather than introspection. The boy who once sought tenderness began to channel his pain outward, demanding respect instead of kindness. The rooftop sanctuary became a memory, replaced by an unrelenting hunger for control. In these early encounters with loss and injustice, Tyson began shaping the fire that would later make him one of the most feared fighters in history. Juvenile detention, the crucible of change. By the age of 13, Tyson had been arrested nearly 40 times, trapped in a cycle of petty crime and street violence. His surroundings offered few alternatives, and chaos seemed inevitable. In 1978, he was sent to the Tryon School for Boys, a juvenile detention facility in upstate New York. The hallways were cold, the silence oppressive, and parental visits rare. His mother never came, yet within these walls a pivotal change occurred. A counselor named Bobby Stewart noticed Tyson's raw power as he worked on a heavy bag and introduced him to Cus D'Amato, a trainer who saw potential where others only saw trouble. This meeting became a turning point, signaling the start of a transformation from street fighter to professional champion. Within the detention facility's harsh confines, Tyson glimpsed a future beyond the streets. a future that required discipline, guidance, and a vision larger than the survival instincts that had defined his early life. Cus D'Amato, the mentor who shaped a champion. Cus D'Amato became more than a coach to Tyson. He was the father figure he had always lacked. In a dim gym in Catskill, New York, the 14-year-old was taught to believe in a future few dared to imagine, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history. D'Amato's influence went beyond technique. He instilled discipline, structure, and the psychological tools to channel Tyson's raw aggression strategically. Pre-dawn runs, relentless drills, and punishing sparring sessions replaced chaos with order. Tyson learned the peekaboo style, which transformed his natural power into precision and unpredictability. Fear, once a crippling force, became fuel. In this environment, strength gained purpose, and a young boy who had been reactive became proactive. Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson discovered that power without control was dangerous, but controlled power was unstoppable. The ring became a place to release pain constructively, and the path to greatness began with lessons far beyond punches. Meteoric rise, youngest heavyweight champion, Tyson's professional debut in 1985 at age 18 lasted less than 2 minutes, signaling the arrival of a prodigious talent. The following year was a whirlwind. 15 fights, 15 knockouts. Opponents fell before his lightning speed and unrelenting aggression. On November 22, 1986, Tyson defeated Trevor Berbick to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old. He quickly unified the division, capturing the WBA and IBF titles, and by 21, he was the undisputed champion. His 91-second demolition of Michael Spinks in 1988 became legendary. Tyson's dominance wasn't merely about victory, it was about redefining fear in boxing. The world didn't just watch him win, they watched the moment when opponents realized they had underestimated a human force that seemed faster and stronger than any natural limit. In those years, Iron Mike was untouchable, the embodiment of both physical and psychological terror in the ring. The cracks appear, a loss of guidance. Even as Tyson's victories mounted, the foundation of his career began to crumble. Cus D'Amato's death in 1985 left a vacuum in guidance just as Tyson was reaching his peak. His manager Jimmy Jacobs died, and trainer Kevin Rooney eventually left. In their absence, influence shifted toward fame and indulgence rather than discipline. Training became inconsistent, nights longer, and focus wavered. The inevitable came on February 11th, 1990, when Buster Douglas defeated Tyson in Tokyo. The upset stunned the world and symbolized more than a single loss. It revealed how even the most fearsome fighter could falter without steady guidance. The defeat exposed vulnerabilities, overconfidence, distraction, and the lack of a grounding influence. Tyson had built his life and career on structured aggression. Once that structure faltered, so did the myth. His invincibility was broken, and the world glimpsed the human side of Iron Mike. Prison, reflection behind bars. In 1992, Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to prison, a period that forced introspection far removed from the public eye. For 3 years, he confronted himself and the consequences of choices that had accumulated over decades. Prison stripped him of fame, forcing stillness and reflection. During this time, he read extensively, converted to Islam, and examined the anger that had defined much of his life. The silence clarified truths he had long ignored, that success without discipline is self-destructive, and that power without purpose is hollow. Tyson returned to boxing in 1995, regaining titles briefly, but the aura of invincibility was gone. The fighter remained dangerous, yet the myth had softened. Prison had exposed vulnerabilities, teaching him lessons no championship ever could. It was a crucible that transformed raw talent into introspective awareness, laying the groundwork for a version of Iron Mike that would endure beyond headlines. The ear-biting incident, public breakdown. Tyson's return to boxing was marked by brilliance, but volatility lingered. The infamous 1997 incident against Evander Holyfield, where Tyson bit his opponent's ear, became emblematic of unresolved inner turmoil. More than a moment of aggression, it was a public display of frustration, an eruption of a lifetime of unprocessed pain. Fans and critics were shocked because the act revealed a deeper reality. A man still wrestling with childhood trauma and the consequences of unchanneled rage. The ring, once a sanctuary, became a stage for self-destruction. The incident transformed public perception, showing that Tyson's battles were not only with opponents, but with himself. The spectacle of the ear-biting incident made clear that even legendary physical prowess could not conceal emotional instability. For many, it served as a cautionary tale of how unchecked anger can undermine even the strongest exterior. Wealth and collapse, lessons in humility. Tyson's career earnings exceeded $400 million, yet by 2003 he filed for bankruptcy, burdened by debts exceeding $20 million. Lavish spending, poor financial management, and ongoing legal troubles drained his fortune. Mansions, exotic cars, and entourages masked insecurity rather than solved it. The collapse was quieter than a knockout, but far more devastating to personal identity. Tyson faced a humbling truth: that applause, wealth, and fame cannot define a person. The lights that once reinforced invincibility no longer mattered, and he had to confront himself without material distractions. This period forced reflection and reinvention, showing that resilience isn't just physical, but financial and emotional. In losing everything, Tyson gained perspective, learning that true strength comes not from possessions, but from self-awareness and the ability to rebuild from the ruins. Love, loss, and the long road to renewal. Tyson's personal life mirrored his professional turbulence. His marriage to Robin Givens in 1988 ended amid public scrutiny, emotional strain, and media frenzy. He later married Monica Turner, with whom he had 2 children, but unresolved trauma and infidelity strained that relationship as well. The most devastating blow came in 2009 when his 4-year-old daughter, Exodus, died in a tragic accident. The grief was unparalleled, replacing fury with humility and forcing him to confront life's fragility. In the years following, Tyson sought therapy, sobriety, and stability, eventually marrying Lakiha, Kiki Spicer. Together they focused on family life and healing. Once feared for destruction, Tyson became respected for honesty and openness. Through personal tragedy, he learned that resilience requires emotional courage and self-examination. This ongoing renewal transformed him into a man who could model strength in a profoundly human way, beyond mere athletic achievement. Conclusion: rebuilding strength. Today, Tyson's estimated net worth is between $10 and $20 million. a fraction of his peak, yet built on wiser foundations. His homes reflect family and reflection rather than ego. Material excess has been replaced by measured appreciation, and he advocates for mental health awareness while supporting youth initiatives. Tyson's influence endures because he rose after failure, not because he was unbeatable. The myth of Iron Mike has softened into a story of a flawed man confronting himself openly. At 59, he stands as proof that true strength lies not in how hard you strike, but in how honestly you rebuild. The storms that once terrified opponents are now turned inward, focused on self-improvement and healing. This journey from chaos to introspection is perhaps Tyson's most enduring legacy, demonstrating that personal reinvention is the ultimate victory.